I'm Dr. Watt, the healthy neurosurgeon. In my anti-aging and wellness practice, a big part of what I do is hormone replacement therapy. So I spend a lot of my time virtually every day adjusting people's hormones, fixing people's hormone deficiencies, and doing that to optimize their health. A hot topic in the news right now is the Department of War has just come out saying they're going to start testing testosterone levels in the active duty military. And my answer, as both an anti-aging doctor and as somebody who was a military surgeon in a prior life, frankly, we should have been doing this 25 years ago. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people tend to think about testosterone replacement in terms of doping. Professional athletes taking anabolic steroids in massive doses to try to become supraphysiologic. And that's not what the Secretary of War is talking about. The vast majority of people in this country, in the military and civilians both, actually have a low level of testosterone, an unhealthily low level of testosterone. And the only way to know that is to look for it. You have to do the blood test. But if your level is low, it's an easy thing to fix. Now, you go, well, why would everybody have low levels of testosterone? There's actually two things going on. One, unfortunately, what our DNA is hardwired to do is for us to get to reproductive maturity, bang out a bunch of healthy babies, and then curl up and die. Your body at around 35 or 40s, when you look in the mirror, looks back at you and says, why are you still here? We've done our job already. The end result of that is all of our good hormones, ladies' estrogen and progesterone, women's and men's testosterone, your DHEA, your growth hormone, all of the hormones we want to have tend to peak at about age 25. And then they slowly, steadily go down. Different hormones go downhill at a different rate in individuals. Different individuals go downhill at different rates than other individuals, but it's a one-way street. Everybody starts losing their important hormones, and it's going to happen unless you do something to treat it. So most of the active military is in their 20s. A lot of them are in their 30s, some in their 40s. So you can say, well, gee, probably a lot of them, they're still in a good place age-wise. Some of them probably are, but there's going to be a lot of them that their hormones are already naturally starting to peter out. Now, that was the case even 25 years ago. But what has currently happened is our good friends at Monsanto have poisoned the entire food chain and ecosystem with Roundup. The glyphosate in the Roundup has a long list of problems, but if being carcinogenic isn't bad enough, it's an androgen suppressant. It lowers your testosterone level. So what I'm seeing in my practice now is supposedly healthy people in their 20s have testosterone levels that look like people in their 40s 20 years ago. And if you say, well, I don't use Roundup on my lawn, good for you. But man, it's just everywhere in the food chain. A lot of studies are showing it's in the tap water in most of our metropolitan areas. So, number one, we run out of hormones as we have birthdays. It just happens, like it or not. Number two, this terrible chemical glyphosate is in our food supply. It's in our water supply. It's lowering our testosterone levels. And it's so ubiquitous, it's almost impossible to avoid it. Number three, a condition specific to the military, or let me at least say more relevant to the military. Head injuries, concussions can damage the neuroendocrine axis. It's not uncommon to see football players, college football players, professional football players who have had a number of concussions, and they literally become what's called panhypopituitary. The pituitary gland basically stops making all of the important hormones. Now, admittedly, your pituitary gland's not making your testosterone, but the pituitary gland makes a signal that goes downhill in your body and tells your testicles or your ovaries make testosterone. And who gets a lot of head injuries? Our active duty service people. And like I said, it doesn't have to be something severe. You don't have to have been blown up by an IED and undergone emergency brain surgery. getting your bell rung because you're airborne and you took a hard landing, or your logistics, but you fell out of the back of the Humvee. Anything that hits your head hard can have an effect on your brain's ability to communicate with your endocrine system. And the more of these injuries you have, it becomes cumulative. It gets worse still. So our military members are steadily moving into the age where you'd expect them to have lower hormones just because they didn't die young. Their food is poisoned with glyphosate that lowers their ability to make the hormones that we need. And they're a population that gets exposed to a lot of head injuries, which can precipitate drastic reduction in testosterone level. So to be clear, saying there's no point in testing this, no, that's completely wrong. And people could say, well, okay, fine, maybe it's low, but why bother testing? Testosterone is vital for your body composition. It's the master control switch for how much fat are you carrying versus how much muscle are you carrying. Testosterone has to be normalized for you to maintain and build muscle mass. Now, yes, people that have low testosterone who are eating a lot of protein and are exercising like fiends, lifting heavy weights, they can hold on to their muscle longer than the sedentary person. But it's like you're treading water in a swimming pool holding a concrete block. Your biochemical deficiency is trying to drag you under the surface. So you need a healthy testosterone level, not supraphysiologic, not pro wrestlers, normal, healthy level to hold on to your muscle and to build your muscle. Testosterone is also extremely important for bone strength. Low testosterone predisposes you to osteoporosis, which puts you at risk for fractures. Your heart is a muscle that never gets to rest. It beats continuously. There are more testosterone receptors on a cardiac muscle cell than on a skeletal muscle cell. Testosterone is what we call a positive cardiac ionotrope. It strengthens your heart. It improves your heart function. Testosterone is also extremely important for mental function. Low testosterone can cause depression. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when these football players who've had multiple concussions are discovered to have low testosterone, it's because they've become profoundly depressed. And their psychiatrist has put them on multiple antidepressant medications, and they're still so depressed they can't put one foot in front of the other. And if they've got a smart psychiatrist, he says, history of head injuries, let's check their testosterone level. And it's pitifully low, and you fix their testosterone and the depression goes away. They don't need the antidepressant meds anymore. It also is vitally important just for brain focus and for drive. People think about sex drive and libido, and that's true, and you can argue whether or not we need the Marines to increase their libido. But there's that feeling of today, I'm going to get out of bed and kick butt and take names. And there's the feeling of maybe if I just stay in bed a little while longer, the world will go away and leave me alone. One of those is normal testosterone. One of them is low testosterone. I'll let you guess which one is which. In terms of mental function, it also affects your reaction time and your initiative. So it controls body composition, controls being able to build muscle mass, controls holding on to bone strength and bone density, is good for your heart, is vital for your brain function, protecting you from depression, protecting you from forgetfulness, keeping your initiative and your drive and your focus up, keeping your reaction times up. So for myself, I do not want to be weak, fat, osteoporotic, forgetful, depressed, tentative, lacking in motivation. I don't want that for any of my patients either. But who else do I not want that for? Our war fighters. For Pete's sake, hopefully things are going to calm down in the world, but to think that we'll never need a military, that's a little naive. And at the end of the day, the military's job is to stand between us and the bad guys. Why would you want your military to be weak and fat and prone to fractures and slow on their focus, slow on their reaction times, not having the drive to go out and get the job done? It doesn't make any sense at all. I actually saw an article in one of the business journals just this week, written by somebody who clearly didn't know what they were talking about, because the headline was increasing testosterone levels in the military probably won't have the result that Pete Hegseth is hoping for. No, dead wrong. And I can say that with certainty because in my daily practice, what I've been doing for the last 20 years, people come to see me, civilians, but people, their hormones are low. They're having subtle problems. Some of them are having terrible problems. We fix their hormones.